All right, how's everybody doing? Today I want to go over a tried and true supplement of mine. I've been using it on and off since I was 12. This is probably the number one supplement I recommend to any client or athlete, whether they're on a beginning level of their fitness journey or more advanced in where they are. Creatine monohydrate. I'm going to go through a quick synopsis of everything you need to know, how to go about loading phase, maintenance phase, timing to take it, dosage, all the different benefits from strength, power, endurance, neurocognitive benefits, and hopefully I can answer any questions you have. And here we go. So, creatine monohydrate, what you need to know. What is creatine? What does it do? So, creatine is a naturally occurring compound found in the muscles and the brain. It's produced by the brain. It's made from amino acids such as arginine, glycine, and methionine. Its main role is helping the body regenerate ATP, which is your body's fastest source of energy during short bursts of high intense activity in particular. That'll come back later. I'll circle back to that. Simply put, it's going to help fuel performance by increasing strength, power, and muscular endurance. Some of the benefits of creatine include increases in strength and power output, supports lean muscle growth indirectly, as well as improves recovery between sets. And again, that has to do with helping your body regenerate ATP within the cells. It'll also boost sprint and explosive performance. Think anaerobic activity, making this a go-to for any tested athletes, lifters, or anybody looking to chase performance goals of that context. Another benefit is the neurocognitive benefits, very similar to the effects of fish oil when taken in moderation, which I'll circle back into. So, two ways to go about loading. You could do a loading phase, which occurs over the course of a week. Let's say you do 4 to 5 scoops of 5 grams a day for the course of 5 days, maybe 6 days. So you're shooting for 20 to 25 grams per day for 5 to 7 days. Once you've done that, the muscles will be saturated with creatine, and that's when you'll actually start seeing the benefits of creatine. You don't want to skip a day in between there, otherwise you're not fully loaded, and the muscles aren't saturated, and you won't see any results. Alternatively, if you're like me and you have a little bit of digestion issues at this age, which is crazy to say, um, you may not be able to quote unquote stomach a loading phase at this point. I used to when I was younger, but not at close to 30. So I just take 5 scoops a day, strictly for 30 days straight, not missing a day there, right? It's a slower saturation rate, but once you're done there, now you can hit your maintenance phase. Just like once you're done with the traditional loading phase, you can then hit your maintenance phase. That maintenance phase, you want to shoot for about 3 to 5 grams, which to clarify is around a teaspoon if it doesn't come with a little scooper. So about 3 to 5 grams, a teaspoon's worth. And again, timing doesn't really matter, but I'll go into some of my preferences and how I go about timing and frequency. So the key is don't worry about timing, focus on consistency. There's no need to necessarily cycle off of creatine. There's no adverse effects to cycling off of creatine, but creatine is not really a compound that your body can quote unquote build a tolerance to. So taking creatine with carbs. I like to take my creatine in the morning with a glass of orange juice, and here's why. Good rule of thumb, where carbs go, water follows, right? After waking up from essentially a 6 to 8 hour fast, that being my sleep, first thing I want to do is I want to hydrate up. If I'm planning on training in the morning, I want to get some carbs in my system, in particular, some quick, fast acting sugars. So for me, that might be some sort of like cranberry juice, apple juice, or orange juice. If carbs, if water goes where carbs go, carbs go, water follows. So if I put the creatine in the juice, it makes sense that my muscles are going to be saturated, not just with the creatine, but also my muscle glycogen stores are going to be up ready for my training in the morning, right? Alternatively, you could take it in a pre-workout shake, post-workout shake. You could even take it in the evening before bed. Really, I would base that on a digestive issue and depending on how you feel with it, because it's a little bit similar to caffeine, if you know what I mean. Will get you going to the bathroom earlier, so to speak. Common myth, actually, speaking of caffeine, is that caffeine negates the benefits of creatine. That's actually not true. They actually operate in a synergistic relationship, so to speak. So you can take creatine with your pre-workout. Most pre-workouts will have some form of creatine in there. You can also just take it with a black cup of coffee. I like that route as well, especially if I'm doing fasted cardio in the morning. All right, on to the neurocognitive benefits. So creatine isn't just for the muscle, it's very supportive of the brain tissue as well and brain energy metabolism. Again, think very similar to like fish oil products or krill oil products. If you want to see any neurocognitive benefits, in particular, if you're somebody like myself who takes ADHD medication that may have oxidative properties on the brain, you'll want to take anywhere from 3 to up to 10 grams, the research shows, is where your brain will start seeing some of the neurocognitive benefits. A lot of research from 2018 onwards on the relationship between creatine and its benefits on those with early onset dementia and early onset Alzheimer's. So hopefully there'll be more research on that in the future, but things look really promising. So, all right, the reality of creatine, the results you'll see of creatine, remember, this is the number one legal supplement that I would recommend for any athlete looking to train within the legal bounds that they're able to train, right? So you might notice strength gains within the first week or two after the loading phase. You could expect anywhere from 1 to 5 pounds of water weight at first, depending on your sodium intake, right? If you have a balanced sodium intake, that would just be intracellular water weight, so water weight within the muscles, excuse me. If you're in an extremely high sodium diet, eating a lot of processed food, Chinese food, pizzas, etc., don't expect that water to go intracellularly because there won't be enough space, and it will give you that puffy look that people complain about when they take creatine incorrectly. You'll have a fuller look. You'll be able to perform better in short, explosive bouts of energy. So yeah, in summary, creatine monohydrate, it's safe, it's cheap, affordable, and it's effective. This and caffeine are the number one proven legal supplements that are shown to benefit in some context to pretty much everybody. I think there's only been 1 or 2 people in my life that I advised not to take creatine. It's because they had an antihistamine reaction. So stick with the monohydrate form. There's a bunch of other forms out there. There's no need to really entertain a lot of those. All the research that you'll read about online is about monohydrate. We went over loading fast within a week versus loading 30 days. The key is just to stay consistent. Take it with carbs if it's convenient or with caffeine, but if not, you can just take it with a glass of water. The key, again, is consistency. And remember, it's not a magic pill, but it'll definitely help you get stronger, faster, recover a little bit quicker, and hopefully keep your brain a little bit sharper. So that's pretty much it on creatine. Reach out to me with any questions, and I hope this helped kind of clear the air on what I think is a really beneficial supplement for everybody to use in some context. So have a good one.